And we see the Eton Cox Ed Crossway air with his hand in the air. He guided the British 8 to a gold medal in the World Junior Championships last year. And what an advantage to have a coxswain of that quality. Pools, they've got Victor Bouquet, who I think is off to the University of Washington for the St Paul's crew. Eton have been improving throughout this season. There we see Dylan Tan in the stroke seats. He's from Singapore. He's the only year 12 in this Eton crew this year. See him with his blade on the starboard side, or the bow side if you prefer. Starboard is what the Americans would call it. But punchy, a little bit, not as long as the St Paul's 8, Julia.
It's amazing lineup, Eton and St Paul's, for me, definitely to open the afternoon my commentary with such an amazing racer. Like I call this a little boat race, or the junior boat race, like Eton and St Paul's. It's amazing to have them at this stage of the competition already.
John Miles there, the stroke of the St Paul's 8. British 17 to 18, lightweight 30-minute record hold on the rowing erg. What a fantastic mover he is. He's so fluid, isn't he, round the back turn, and St Paul's are just walking away. They're going to have, what, about 3/4 of a length on the Eton crew, maybe by the time they get to the barrier. And I think Eton's race plan needs to be readjusted here, Julia.
Yes, definitely. St Paul's shows in the first stage of the race that they are very strong. They had a couple struggles with the illnesses and changes in the boat, but they just keep showing how strong boathouse, how strong squad they have, and again coming to Henley Royal Regatta very, very strong, and want to open the race on their favour.
Yeah, their coach Bobby Thatcher never goes in the launch to watch the race. He always follows by bike. But those illnesses we were talking about, you know, your heart goes out to Arthur Hamill, who was in the 8 that won the School's Head, and of course Wilder Daffy, who got glandular fever. Arthur, we hope you're recovering well. And the J16 Guy Parson has had to come in to the St Paul's 8. He was rowing 6th in the J16s, and I think maybe it was the stroke man from the St Paul's 2nd 8 that's come in too. And so Bobby Thatcher has had to craft a new combination here.
Yeah, it's really great to see that having the J16 rowers here. I know the St Paul's already had the J15 rowers many times in the boat. Alp was one of them, and this is his 4th Henley Royal Regatta, showing that the program is very strong from base, from the beginning, and Bobby Thatcher definitely can always have from who to choose to replace in the boat if he needs to.
So this Eton crew, I think it's fantastic. They're coached by Hannah Patel. She had great success with the Eton J16s. She's the first female coach of the Eton College First 8, and I know Mark Fangan Hall, who was the coach at Eton and now is running the Oxford Blue Boat, was absolutely chuffed that a woman took over from Eton. There we see the two shot of the two crews. St Paul's, well, they won't ease off at all. I had a little conversation with Bobby before the race, and what you don't want to do is kind of ease off, let the other crew back into it, and they, you know, get their sort of motivation up. Looks back there from the 17-year-old Victor Bouquet off to University of Washington. So St Paul's will keep it on, Julia.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good to always go till the end, also showing your position for the other day, for the next days, how strong you are. And yeah, I was always doing my races all the way through the finish line. I think it's important also to show your crew, your coxes, that you are strong, and also how the crew is responding to all the calls. This is we cannot forget about the coxes and how the team works with him during the race.
Look round by Nikolai Rybin, the 18-year-old in the 6th seat, as if to say, where are St Paul's? Do we still have a chance? Not sure what his cox will be saying. From the drone you see, well, the odds are stacked pretty much against the trailing crew, the young men from Eton College. And that fantastic crew from St Paul's. They got a bronze medal in the national schools, behind Shiplake, behind Radley, but, you know, things weren't going right for them in that regatta. I suspect this crew will be faster and give the top crews more of a race. They're going well, according to Bobby, and they will go deep in the regatta. So there's our drone over Eton College, and it will zip up to, yeah, it'd be great to see the St Paul's 8, and in particular I want to look at 2 athletes in the middle of that 8. We've talked about him already, the 18-year-old Alp Karadogan. I heard him speak at the St Paul's dinner, and the 4 times Henley athlete, twice winner. I think he won as a J15. You can see he's so tall in the middle of the boat. He's an extraordinarily impressive man. He's off to Harvard, and his 6th man in front of him, Pat Wild, well, Wild and Karadogan, they make the pair go like lightning fast. Bobby Thatcher unusually will coach them at the Junior Worlds, and they aim to be the first British pair to win gold in the juniors since Tim Foster and Matt Pinson, who of course took gold in that 4 back in Sydney in 2000. 5 and 6 in that 8. And it's sweet rowing for them now, Julia.
Yeah, we are coming to the end of the race, and also the St Paul's won it last year, so they are in the competition, probably trying to keep that strike of the winning races, and obviously aiming to repeat what they did last year.
St Paul's, they are going down in the gears now, but they're nearly at the finish line. And Bobby Thatcher will be pleased, relieved, job done. His crew will go into the semi-finals, where they might race Shiplake, the favourites. And Eton College closed up at the end, but couldn't get close enough. So confirmation in the Princess Elizabeth, St Paul's School beat Eton College.